Okay, so I am going to teach you guys a little bit about what I have done with a number of the kiddos that I have worked with on thought downloads and looking at their thoughts, like really breaking down just one thought. So what they do first, you can see at the top, is they do a thought download. So they download all of their thoughts, all the thoughts that they have in their head, they download. And so that just means that they're going to write down every single thought that they have when they come to a session. So they download every single thought, and then they choose one thought that they want to change. And then once they've chosen that thought, I usually have them write the limiting thought. So that thought is going to go at the top of the first column where it says limiting. And they don't worry about the empowering thought yet. And it can also be a feeling. I'm going to talk about how you can also even start with, you can start with a feeling. You can start with the result and work your way backwards. So you can really start anywhere. But for this one, we're going to start with a thought. So the circumstance is always neutral. That's like, you really want to make sure that the circumstance is completely neutral. Like there's no positive, no negative. So for instance, if let's say you are having a fight with a friend, I'm just going to use one that, one of my kiddos has worked on. And they're having a disagreement with their friend. So the circumstance would be that they are, out on the playground. The circumstance would be completely neutral. It's not even going to have like the word fight in it. It's going to have communication with friend. And because you don't even want to put argument in there because that has some, connotation. So you don't want to put that in. And then thought. So the thought, I would ask them, what's your thought right now thinking about having that fight with your friend? And they might say, I am thinking that I don't want to be friends with them anymore. So if that was their thought, I would say, do you want to change that? And a lot of times they'll say, yes, I do want to change that thought. And sometimes we'll work through, all the way down to the result first. So if we stick with the limiting, so their thought might be, I don't want to be friends with them anymore. Then I would ask them, what's the feeling that goes along with that? They would say, I feel sad. The action might be that they came in to talk to me and and maybe they left their friend feeling, hurt. And then the result would be that the friendship right now may be a little bit damaged because they didn't, solve it right then. So an empowering thought, what we would do if we looked at changing the thought part, and again, you can always work backwards. You can start from a feeling and go up. If you start if you start at the bottom, like with the result, you need to go up. So you'd start with the result you have that's limiting, and then you would look at the empowering result and work backwards. But so if we do the exact same thing with the empowering, thought, what they would do is they would have the same circumstance because it's totally neutral. Then the thought, they're going to change. So their first thought was that they didn't want to be friends anymore. And they might want to change that to, their thought might be, I want to repair the relationship. Then I would ask them, so we'd write that in for number, 2 there. And then the feeling that goes along with that. So what feeling goes along with wanting to repair the relationship? Maybe hopeful, something like that. The action for the empowering action, would be that they would be, going out after we work together to repair the relationship, and we work on action steps and benchmarks there. And then the result would be that the friendship would be repaired. So this is just a kind of like brief look at how to break down one thought, like really, really super specifically and explicitly. We do this with kids, but it may work really well for adults too, because when you're working on, thoughts, it's really helpful to just look at one first. The other thing that a lot of the kids talk about is they aren't able to tell me what their thoughts are. So if you actually just start talking out loud, like whispering out loud to yourself, it sounds weird, but you'll be able to figure out what thoughts you're having. Because a lot of times people say, I don't know what I'm thinking. So you just kind of start whispering in your head to yourself, and that does help. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please ask. And I hope you have an awesome day. Okay, thanks. Bye.